Here we have the function of the square root of x times sine of x plus 2, and we want to find the area of the region bounded by f of x, the x-axis, from 0 to pi. And we want to use trapezoid rule with 8 trapezoids. And so first let's calculate delta x, or the height of each trapezoid, or the length of each subinterval. It's b minus a divided by n. So it'll be pi minus 0 divided by 8, which is pi over 8. And then this is the trapezoid rule, the formula. So first we need to calculate the x of i's. X of 0, x of 1, x of 2, all the way up to x of 8. So here here's the graph, and here are the 8 trapezoids. This is x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, x of 3, x of 4, all the way up to x of 8. X of 0 is just 0, and then x of 1 will be x of 0 plus 1 width, 1 height here, 1 delta x. So the distance from here to here, that's delta x. And then the distance from here to here is 2 delta x. The distance from here to here would be 3 delta x. And so x of 1 would be x of 0 plus 1 delta x, or it'd be 0 plus pi over 8, which is pi over 8. And then x of 2 would be x of 0 plus 2 delta x. So it would be x of 0 plus 2 times pi over 8, which is 2 pi over 8. X of 3 would be x of 0 plus 3 delta x, which is 0 plus 3 times pi over 8, which is 3 pi over 8. And so on, for all the way up to x of 8. And then now we need to calculate the f of x of 0 all the way up to f of x of 8. And notice that for the inside the formula, the multiplier in front of the f, the first one, the multiplier number is 1. The last one, the multiplier number is 1. And then everything else in between, the multiplier number is 2. And then the expression in the front is b minus a over 2n. And so now we can go to Google Spreadsheet and do the calculations for the f of x of y, and then find the area of the 8 rectangles. So for this example, a is 0, and the number of trapezoids, or the number of zoids, or the number of subintervals is 8, and then b is pi. And so in the Google Spreadsheet, we just type equal, and then pi, which is 3.141592654, and then we need the expression in front of the sum right here is b minus a over 2n. So we'll go ahead and calculate that. So this is b, which is cell B2, minus a, which is cell B1, and then dividing by 2 times n is B3. And then next we need to calculate b minus a, so b is then B2, and then a is then B1, and then dividing by n, which is B3. And then for the x of i's, we will go from x of 0 all the way up to x of 8. And so this one, the first one is 0. The next one is 1 delta x, so it'll be 1 pi over 8. This is 0, and so it's 1 delta x. And then x of 2 would be 2 delta x, and so on. And so this is 1, and so equal, and then we want 1 times delta x. Delta x is this right here. And then x of 2 is 2 times delta x, which is this cell. And notice right here, in this formula, the C4 will change, but the B5, we want this number to stay constant. And so what we do is we put the dollar sign in front of the B and the dollar sign in front of the 5. And then we can copy the formula right here, and then control copy or control C, and then control V for pasting. And so again, the formula right here, the C4 will change, but the B5, we want it to stay constant. And so the way to make it constant is put the dollar sign in front of the B and the dollar sign in front of the 5. And then now we need the, so these are the x of y's. And now we need the f of x of y. And f of x of y, the function is the square root of x times sine of x plus 2. And so we would input it like this. SQRT for square root. And then x of y. X of y is in D2. So we would do D2 and then times and then the sine function, it is SIN in the Google spreadsheet, and then x of y again is D2 and then plus 2. So this is how we would input this function into the spreadsheet. So we do equal, and then square root is SQRT, and then again x of y is in the D2 column, and then times sine, and we want sine of x of y, and then plus 2. And then it will calculate the rest of the cells right here, and then we want to accept it. And then the multipliers or the numbers in front of the f of x of y. So it's 1 for the first, 1 for the last, and then 2 for all the ones in between. And then we want to do multiplier times f of x of y. So equal multiplier and then times f of x of y. And then we're asked, do we want to do the rest of the cells in the same column? And we want to accept it. So we have just figured this out. And now we need to add them together. And so just go somewhere down here, anywhere. And so this is the sum of the last column right here. So we do equal sum. And we want the sum of this column. And the sum of these numbers is 44.2740. The sum of the 8 trapezoids is b minus 2n, b minus a dividing by 2n, dividing by times multiplied by this sum. And so the area of the 8 trapezoids be the b minus a over 2n, and then times the sum, which is this. And so the area of the 8 trapezoids is about 8.693191. And now we look back at the graph. We're going from 0 to pi. And here's the 8 trapezoids. And so the sum of the areas of the 8 trapezoids is 8.693191, which is what we got on the Google spreadsheet. And again, that's the, and we can see that the trapezoids, the 8 trapezoids should be a good approximation for the shaded region. And then if we want a better approximation, then what we would do is just increase the number of trapezoids. So here's 12. And the approximation for the shaded region would just get better and better as we increase the number of trapezoids. And then we can see right here, if we want to extend this from 8 to, let's say, 20 trapezoids, then we just continue down here and then just copy the formulas right here.